Welcome to Joseph's Casey Night class. We are going to be working on worksheet number AF number 8. It's in my right hand corner, but it's in your left hand corner, AF number 8. So let's get started. What is the solution for x in the equation 2x minus 4 equals 16? These are pretty scary, but they're really pretty simple. You just got to remember all the different steps and rules. So you are trying to get the variable, that's your x, your y, your b, whatever letter, the letters that you don't know what they equal to yet, those are variables. You're trying to get the variable alone, that's your goal. Start with the numbers that are not attached to the variable on the same side as the variable. So on the same side of the equal sign. So you almost want to think of it as like a border between one side of the equal sign and the other. So the number that's not attached to the x, the number that's attached is the 2, unattached number is the negative 4. So we're going to move that over to the other side. How you do that is by doing the opposite of what you see happening here. So right here you see a negative 4 or a subtract 4. The opposite, as we learned earlier, is plus 4. That will cancel out. That will leave you with 2x equals 16. However, whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, you must also do to the other. So negative 4 plus 4 left us with 0, and if there's a 0, you can just throw that out. But if we added 4 to this side, because when we add 4 to this, we're really adding to this whole side. But these are not like terms. This doesn't have an x. This does, so we can't really put these together. So we're only going to subtract from what we can, or add to what we can. So if we added to the negative 4 and got 0 on this side, we have to add to the other side as well. That will leave us with 2x equals 20. Now, to get rid of a number that's attached to a variable, like this 2 right here, you have to divide. So, 2x equals 20. We're going to divide by this number right here. Not a factor, not a multiple, just by the number you see here. 2 divided by 2 equals 1. And then this rule right here still applies. Whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, you must also do to the other. So if we divided 2 on this side, then we're going to divide 2 on this side. 20 divided by 2 equals 10. So over here we are left with 1x equals 10. Now you got a 1x, you're not going to find that on your answer sheet if it was a multiple choice problem. So the 1 just drops away, and x equals 10. Pretty simple. Doesn't get a whole lot complicated in this, but let's go to the next problem. Number 2, what is the solution for x in the equation 2 over 3, 2/3 x minus 2 equals 2? First, don't panic. You know what to do. We just did this. There's no difference in the steps, just in the math. So 2 over 3x, really what that means is 2/3 times x. There's multiplication going on here. That's why we did the opposite. Before we did the opposite with adding and subtracting, and then we also did the opposite of multiplying and dividing. This is multiply, so we divide. We'll get back to that in a minute. First, let's do the part we already know. Plus 2 to this side to get this to cancel out. So plus 2 to this side, that's going to equal 4. Leaving us with 2/3 x equals 4. We're just going to divide as normal. So divide by 2 over 3. Divide by 2 over 3. Now I can't do this in my head, so we're going to work it out just like we did a week or two ago. So this is going to be just 1, because anything divided by itself is 1. So 4 divided by 2 over 3, 4 divided by 2 over 3. If you're dividing fractions, both have to be a fraction, so make the 4 into 4 over 1. Then, keeping the first number the same, remember the division becomes multiply. 2 over 3 is going to flip, reciprocal. Then cross cancel. So greatest common factor here is 2. Also dividing, 4 divided by 2 is 2. So that gives us this is now a 2 over 1 times 3, because that 3 and 1 did not have a greatest common factor. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so that's our new 1. Now we just go ahead and multiply across. That gives us 6 over 1, which, as we all should know by now, is just plain 6. So when you see this, you're just going to divide. You know how to divide by fractions. We practiced that for a day. That's all that means. You're just going to divide. Don't get freaked out by that. What is the solution for n in the inequality 3n minus 7 is less than 17? Remember, inequality means less than or greater than, or less than or equal to, basically those little arrows that point left or right. If you know how to do the first two problems, you know how to do this. Just pretend this is an equal sign for now and solve it the same way as when you had an equal sign. So, plus 7 plus 7. That's going to leave us with 3n less than 7 and 17 is 24. Then we're trying to get the n, or the variable, all by itself. So divide by 3. Divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 equals 1. 24 divided by 3 is going to equal 8. So that leaves us a final answer of 1n less than, because the 3 divided by 3 is a 1. 24 divided by 3 is 8. 8, you just keep it on the same sides. Keep your answers on the same sides, and you're done. Remember, the 1 can pretty much just drop off. Final question. What is the solution for n in the inequality 4 minus 5d is less than 14? Some of you might go, oh, I already know how to do this. You just taught me. You don't. There's a trap. There's a trick that I got to teach you about. Start as normal. Now the d's over here instead of over here, that doesn't matter. This is a 4. It's a positive 4 because it had no symbol, so you can just assume it's 4. So let's move it over. Let's get the d by itself. Uh, 14 minus 4 is going to equal 10. And then the negative 5d stays the same. Now that there's no more letters that are unattached to d on this side, we're going to go ahead and divide. We're going to get rid of this one, so we can divide by 5. Then whatever we do to one side, we do to the other side. Divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5 equals 1 equals negative 2. So that's going to leave us with d is less than negative 2. But if you stop there, and you would find this answer on the Casey, if they ask you this, you would be wrong. Because if you divide by a negative number here with inequalities, you must flip the inequality. So the correct answer is d is greater than negative 2. That's the trap. This, on the Casey, both of these will be a choice, like choice C and choice A or something like that. They will have this waiting for you. It is the trap they set for you. If you divide by a negative number, you flip. If you divide by a positive number, like in the problem before, you don't flip. Only when you divide in the very last step by a negative number do you flip the inequality. And it doesn't matter if there's a line underneath, you just flip it no matter what, if it's an inequality. And that's it. You can go ahead and go on to the practice. Finish all of the practice. Ask for help from me, from your neighbors. Don't go on to any homework problems until I tell you specifically to do so. Thank you.